blizzard was getting worse. But we had to investigate the rumors of a cure.
In the meantime, so there was a new DLC called Survival. Spoiler alert, it's freaking awesome.
So Survival is the new game mode that will be coming to The Division with patch 1.5. And let me just start off by saying that I believe that this is probably the best DLC to come to The Division yet.
The Division franchise has seen many expansions and a variety of different types of game modes. These modes range from skirmishes, 4v4 team deathmatch modes, to Underground's procedurally generated PvE experiences with infinite replayability, but arguably the best expansion/mode regarded by the community to come to the Division is Survival.
No water, temperature dropping.
Released on November 22nd, 2016, Survival is a battle royale style mode where 24 players drop into the outskirts of the entire Division map with no gear, no weapons, and nothing but a pistol to defend yourself, and an hour on your lifetime. That's right, after about an hour, your character will succumb to the infection, a result of your injuries sustained in the helicopter crash, forcing you to leave Survival. If you make it past all of these trials and reach the Dark Zone, grab the antivirals, craft a flare gun to call the helicopter to get you out, a greater evil awaits you at the extraction. One entirely new to the Division and leaving a lasting impact on the franchise, even in the present day. So many people still play Survival, from tournaments run by some of the biggest content creators in the Division community today, to an entire Discord dedicated to keeping the mode alive. It's amazing that it still has a pretty large following, given the clear influence Survival has had on the upcoming Division Heartland. So that's a little bit of the backstory. Let's talk a little bit about the actual mode itself. The goal of Survival is to find the antivirals for the green poison virus located at random points within the Dark Zone and attempt to extract them with your life. Your goal is to fight or sneak your way to the Dark Zone, craft a virus filter to enter, grab the antivirals, craft a flare gun, defend the agent extraction, and then finally extract to the base of operations safely. This, of course, is no easy task. There are a few mechanics trying to kill you and get in your way in your path to the Dark Zone extraction, not to mention the sinister challenge at the extraction itself. Fortunately for us agents, there are ways to work around these obstacles that would seek to get in your way. Consumables such as medicine and painkillers can be found at locations around the map to stop your countdown timer, effectively allowing you to play the game longer, or for lack of a better word, to survive. Each consumable satisfied a certain deficiency your character was experiencing, such as medicine and painkillers, which stops the infection countdown. Water and sodas quench your agent's thirst, but also allow you to see loot boxes and other consumable sources through walls, which can be very useful in certain situations. Some crates have valuable apparel items, and unlike the base game, the apparel in this mode, Survival, also has a function in addition to increasing your agent's drip. In addition to the NPCs located on seemingly every different street, Survival added an element of elemental hazards to your agent, which was completely brand new to the game. Many people were really interested, however, in the environmental factors that the Survival mode offered, wishing it was part of the main game. The clothes that drop in the Survival mode have a cold rating, and putting on different clothes increases your agent's resistance to the storm. You won't last a few minutes in the cold with no jacket, no snow pants, no boots, no hats, no gloves. The cold pressure always finds a way to impact a fight in the early game, with a firefight usually ending with you running away in search of a shelter or a fire barrel. More often than not, you'll die of the cold if your health is too low and the barrels are conveniently eluding you. Now come to think of it, I don't think I've ever had a match of Survival where I didn't say to my teammates, I'm literally about to die to the cold. This sounds like a lot, but this mode introduced high pressure stakes to the Division, and much of the community found itself wishing it was part of the real game, not necessarily just a specific mode. Every single moment of the game was tense, and there wasn't a time where you weren't on edge from any possible threat that could be lurking in the storm. Believe me, there were an infinite number of ways you can die in survival.
Detected. Notifying Division. Warning. Infection has reached critical mass.
Perhaps one of the most mysterious aspects of survival is the threat lurking at every single agent extraction, the Hunters. These enemies were agent-like in terms of skills. They could heal themselves, throw down support stations, use sticky bombs, you name it, they had it. They would throw everything in their arsenal at you, and you had to fight them. And guess what? Don't get close either. They have an axe and a shock ability that will send you to the terminal in one fell swoop. Not much is known about these high-tech, agent-killing, bloodthirsty monsters, but they are some of the most iconic enemies from the Division franchise. As mentioned before, there's not much known about them except their high-tech abilities and apparent thirst for Division agent blood. So we get it, right? The mode was cool. There are some things that really let this mode shine, and if it weren't for what happened in patch 1.4, we might have never seen survival. The Division Survival Update was originally supposed to release during summer of 2016 for PC and console. Due to the overwhelmingly bad state of the game, Survival and the later DLC Last Stand were delayed until a later date in order to focus on game balancing and overall health. During patch 1.3, the game was pretty much on life support 3 months after release. Going from one of Ubisoft's most popular releases in the company's history to death within 3 months was a mind-boggling stat in development, but Massive and Red Storm had some tricks up their sleeves. Patch 1.4 focused on a huge overhaul of systems, fixing the game in more ways than one. For example, the loot economy, which was, I might add, incredibly stingy and very difficult to find good gear, was completely revamped in a favor of a system that could drop gear sets from red bar enemies. I know, what a shocker. Considering the alternative, however, this seemed like a literal loot fountain and was welcomed by many. Enemy difficulty was toned down a bit, loot availability buffed somewhat, and the Division was healing. In addition to loot and enemy difficulty scaling, patch 1.4 included various quality of life improvements for the game, and overall it provided the framework for a successful Division expansion, Survival. Let's talk a little bit about the impact on future Division content. It's been well established that the Division Heartland is one of the most anticipated new entries to the Division franchise. The community is somewhat starved for new content, and Heartland on the horizon is keeping the community excited and speculative for what it may contain. One thing that is pretty much certain, however, is that Heartland is very heavily inspired by Survival. Heartland is rumored to be a Battle Royale style PvE/VP mode, which is a direct inspiration from Survival. In addition to the Division Heartland Hunters, originally introduced in the Survival expansion, were added to different areas in the game to increase difficulty. In the Division 2, Hunters can be spawned in different areas of the map, and each one drops a specific mask, which in my opinion is pretty cool. In conclusion to this lovely tale, the Survival mode is iconic for a number of reasons. First of all, Survival was the Battle Royale mode before the Battle Royale craze. Released before Fortnite, Apex Legends, and all of the other big name Battle Royale games that are now household common names today. In addition to that, it came at the perfect time for the game to thrive and bring many players back into the Division game. We all know that it was on life support, and updates like this are what really cemented it as one of the greatest games of all time. In addition to saving the Division 1, it had a large influence on future content, particularly with the Hunters and of course the upcoming Division Heartland, which is rumored to be a survival spin-off. As we wrap this up, I want to bring attention to one more little piece of evidence, and that comes in response to a tweet by fellow content creator Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear. His tweet asking for a return of the survival mode to the Division 2 garnered over 500 likes, prompting a response from Yannick, creative director of the Division franchise. He says, and I quote, he will consider bringing back survival when he's 100% confident that he can do better than the original. I believe that this serves as further confirmation that survival will remain one of the most iconic Division game modes to ever come to the franchise, yet also one of the most mysterious. It's my prediction that the Division Heartland stays in Division 1, and that's where you'll be able to find it. You'll be able to find me at youtube.com/Deltah1N and Deltah_YT on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deltah out. Peace.